Gentlemen, let's get honest. For years, you've been told that your worth as a man lies between your legs, that your size defines your desirability, your masculinity, your ability to satisfy a woman. And maybe you've carried that quiet insecurity into every date, every bedroom encounter, every relationship. You wonder, am I enough? But here's the truth that most men never hear. Women are not lying awake at night, measuring you in inches. They're measuring you in presence, in how safe you make them feel, in how much confidence you radiate when you walk into the room. Science has shown something powerful, that what women truly desire is far more connected to psychology, to emotional connection, and to the way you carry yourself than the number society has made you obsess about. This video isn't just about inches. It's about redefining manhood. It's about breaking the chains of comparison, of pornography, of insecurity, and stepping into the reality of what actually makes you unforgettable to a woman. So today we're going to break it down, not just with cold facts, but with truths that will liberate you, empower you, and remind you of your value as a man. Because the size she remembers is the size of your confidence, your ambition, your depth, and yes, backed by science, we'll talk about exactly how much matters. Let's go deeper. Gentlemen, let's begin with the truth that science has already revealed, because the numbers might surprise you. For years, men have carried this silent pressure, this voice in the back of their heads whispering, maybe I'm not big enough. Maybe that's why she didn't stay. Maybe that's why she's not satisfied. And that voice has destroyed confidence, broken marriages, and left men second, guessing their worth. But here's the reality. Multiple scientific studies from universities across the world have asked women a very simple question: what size do you actually prefer? And guess what? They didn't give the answers men fear. The data consistently shows that the majority of women are content within a range that is shockingly close to the global average. Not the extremes you see online, not the unrealistic exaggerations of adult entertainment, but a normal, healthy, very achievable range. Most women in these studies reported satisfaction not from size, but from connection. They valued emotional intimacy, confidence, and communication over inches. For casual encounters, yes, some preferred a little more. But for long-term relationships, the kind where love and trust matter, smaller to average was not only acceptable, but preferred. Think about that for a moment. How much of your energy, your self-esteem, your identity as a man has been tied to an illusion that science itself has already shattered? The truth is, women are far more forgiving, far more accepting, and far more focused on the experience than the measurement. When researchers dug deeper, they found that what women remembered most wasn't size. It was how present the man was, how much care he showed, and how confident he carried himself. So here's the key takeaway science proves you've been lied to. You've been fed a story that your masculinity lives in numbers, when in reality, it lives in your presence. When you stop obsessing about size, you free yourself, you free your confidence, you walk into the bedroom without fear. You connect deeper. And ironically, that freedom, that self-assurance makes you unforgettable to her. Gentlemen, remember this, the research is clear. You don't have to be bigger. You just have to be bolder, braver, and more connected. Gentlemen, let me tell you something that will change the way you see yourself forever. Confidence will take you further than inches ever could. A man who believes in himself, who owns who he is, becomes magnetic. Think about it. How many times have you seen an average-looking man with an extraordinary woman by his side? And you wonder, how? What does he have that I don't? The answer isn't size, it isn't money, it isn't some secret genetic gift, it's confidence. Confidence is the signal women pick up on long before intimacy. It's in the way you walk into a room without apologizing for existing. It's in how you look her in the eyes, not out of arrogance, but with certainty. It's in how you carry yourself when you're fully comfortable in your own skin. Women are naturally wired to respond to men who know themselves, because that confidence translates into safety, leadership, and presence. Science backs this too. In countless studies, women rated confidence as one of the most attractive traits in a partner, outranking wealth, looks, and yes, physical size. Why? Because confidence communicates something primal, that you can handle yourself, And by extension, you can handle her world too. But here's where so many men get it wrong. They confuse confidence with bravado. They think being loud, cocky, or arrogant is attractive. It's not. That's insecurity disguised. Real confidence is quiet power. It's knowing that no matter what you lack, you're still enough. Now, imagine this: two men, same size. One walks into the bedroom ashamed, apologetic, anxious, already defeated. The other, he walks in knowing who he is. He looks at her with intention. He leads with certainty. He doesn't shrink back from touch or eye contact. Same man physically, but one will leave her underwhelmed, and the other will leave her thinking about him long after. Confidence turns average into unforgettable. Confidence makes her forget the numbers and focus on the man. And gentlemen, here's the liberating truth. You don't need permission to be confident. It's not something you wait to earn. It's a choice you make moment by moment, every day. Confidence beats inches every single time. Gentlemen, let me let you in on a secret that most men overlook. A woman will never remember your inches as much as she will remember your presence. Your ability to be fully there, mind, body, and soul, is what multiplies intimacy. Here's the truth. Many men enter relationships and even the bedroom thinking only about performance. Am I lasting long enough? Am I big enough? Am I doing it right? That performance anxiety pulls you out of the moment. And when you're not present, she feels it. She senses the disconnect. And suddenly, no matter what you're doing physically, it doesn't touch her heart. Emotional presence is the opposite. It's when you slow down, when you pay attention, when you truly see her. It's when you notice her breathing, the way her body responds, the emotions behind her eyes. It's when you're not rushing toward a finish line, but instead you're savoring the journey with her. Science has proven this too. Women release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, when they feel safe, cared for, and emotionally connected. This hormone deepens trust, increases attraction, and amplifies pleasure. In other words, your presence literally rewires her brain to desire you more. Think about it. Anyone can do the act, but very few men can make a woman feel truly seen and valued in the moment. That's why some men, even with no physical advantages, are unforgettable, because they didn't just touch her body, they touched her soul. Being emotionally present means you silence distractions. You're not thinking about what happened at work. You're not scrolling on your phone, and you're not trapped in your own insecurities. You're there in that sacred space, giving her your attention, your focus, your care. And here's the beauty of it: when you show up emotionally, she opens up physically. The trust grows, the vulnerability grows, the pleasure grows. Presence multiplies everything. So, gentlemen, remember this. Your value in intimacy is not measured in inches. It's measured in how deeply you can connect. If you can be fully present with a woman, you'll become the man she never forgets. Emotional presence isn't optional. It's the true intimacy multiplier. Gentlemen, here's a truth that many men ignore. Satisfaction has never been about size. It has always been about skill, technique, and awareness. Think about it. What good is having the biggest tool if you don't know how to use it? A woman's body is not a puzzle you solve by inches. It's a symphony you learn to play with patience, rhythm, and sensitivity. The men who succeed in intimacy are not the ones who obsess over their measurements. They are the ones who study, listen, and adapt. Science backs this up. Studies on female satisfaction show that pleasure is far more influenced by foreplay, emotional connection, and technique than by size. In fact, many women reported that men who rushed, ignored their cues, or lacked awareness were the most disappointing, regardless of their physical advantages. So what does technique really mean? It's not about memorizing tricks. It's about presence and attentiveness. It's about knowing that intimacy begins long before you touch her. It begins with how you speak to her, how you look at her, how you make her feel desired and safe. It's about slowing down, not rushing, and understanding that a woman's arousal is built gradually. The greatest skill a man can develop in the bedroom is not stamina or strength. It's listening. Listening with your eyes, your hands, your awareness. Her body will tell you everything you need to know if you're paying attention. Here's what separates the forgettable from the unforgettable. The forgettable man thinks intimacy is about performance. The unforgettable man knows it's about connection. He uses his words, his touch, his patience to create an experience that lingers long after. And gentlemen, let me be clear, this is good news. Because technique can be learned. You don't need to be born with some genetic lottery ticket. You can grow, improve, practice, and refine the way you show up. Every man has the ability to master connection if he chooses to. So stop fixating on size and start investing in skill. Because at the end of the day, women don't crave the man with the biggest tool. They crave the man who knows how to use what he has to make her feel alive. That's real power. That's technique. Gentlemen, if there is one enemy that has quietly stolen your confidence, it's comparison. And its biggest weapon, porn culture. For years, men have been fed images of unrealistic bodies, exaggerated performances, and staged intimacy. You scroll, you watch, and without realizing it, your mind begins to measure yourself against what you see. Suddenly, you're not just in the bedroom with a woman, you're battling ghosts of comparison. You're thinking, do I measure up? Do I last as long? Do I look like that? And the answer, in your mind, is almost always no. But here's the truth: pornography is entertainment, not education. It's staged, cut, enhanced, and designed to trigger addiction, not to reflect reality. Those actors aren't living the truth, they're playing roles. And the tragedy is, men compare their real, human bodies and authentic relationships to scripted illusions. That's like comparing your daily life to a Hollywood action movie. It's never going to match. The result: insecurity, anxiety, performance pressure, and worst of all, disconnection from the real women in your life. Many women today confess they feel unseen, ignored, or objectified because men expect them to act like a scene they watched instead of connecting with who they are. Science is clear: excessive porn consumption rewires the brain, dulls real attraction, and lowers confidence. It kills your ability to be present, to connect emotionally, and even to perform physically. It's a silent killer of intimacy and self-worth. So how do you fight back? You stop feeding comparison. You reclaim your mind. You remind yourself that no real woman is looking for a movie actor. She's looking for you. She doesn't want staged lines or fake confidence. She wants your authenticity, your attention, your presence. Gentlemen, you will never win by comparing yourself to a fantasy. You only win when you embrace reality, your reality, when you accept that you are enough, and that the right woman values you for far more than what a screen has conditioned you to believe. Comparison steals joy. Porn fuels comparison. But presence, authenticity, and real human connection, that's what keeps a woman coming back, not the illusions you've been chasing. It's time to kill the silent killer. It's time to set yourself free. Gentlemen, here's the truth you've been waiting for. Women are not measuring you by inches. They are measuring you by impact, by how you show up as a man in her life, in her heart, and in the world. Society has tricked men into believing masculinity is about physical dominance, size, or how many women you can conquer. But real masculinity, it's deeper. It's rooted in who you are when no one is watching. It's in your discipline, your ambition, your ability to protect and provide, not just financially, but emotionally. The big man she actually wants isn't the one with the biggest body part. It's the man with the biggest vision, the man with the biggest heart, the man who can lead, who can inspire, who can love without fear. Think about it. A woman may be intrigued by appearances, but she falls in love with consistency. She may be impressed by charm, but she stays for character. What she craves most is safety, the kind of safety that says, with this man, I can let my guard down. That doesn't come from size. That comes from strength of character. Science backs this too. Studies on long-term attraction show that traits like reliability, confidence, empathy, and ambition are what women value most in lasting relationships. Those are the things that make her proud to call you her man. Those are the things she brags about to her friends. So, let's redefine masculinity. To be a big man is to rise above insecurities and stand firm in your identity. It's to take ownership of your life, your health, your purpose, your relationships. It's to be disciplined when others give up, to be courageous when others shrink back, and to be tender when others are harsh. Gentlemen, hear me well, she doesn't remember your inches. She remembers your impact. She remembers how you lifted her when she was broken, how you believed in her when she doubted herself, how you stood tall when life tried to crush you. That's the man she wants. That's the man you were born to be. Not just big in body, but big in spirit, big in vision, and big in love. That's true masculinity. That's the big man she'll never forget.